Hello, everyone. I'm Alex, and happy Tuesday. Every time I come on to this platform that we use to stream our live streams, I'm always under the name Betsy, so I do always have to change it. So sometimes I forget. Maybe you guys haven't noticed, but my name is in the bottom corner, and then Aaron and Linda are with me, and their name is in the bottom corner. All of our names should be correct, but if you don't know us, you can always check the bottom. And if I'm Betsy one day randomly, you all can let me know. But I am Alex, and I'm happy to be with you guys today. We are talking about one of our most talked about patterns and probably one of our most made patterns, probably one of our favorite patterns. We've made this pattern a million different ways, maybe more like hundreds. And you probably have too. I am wearing a new version of the Eureka top pattern. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about this particular fabric and this particular version of the Eureka. So we want to shout out a brand new video course that we have not yet promoted for the Eureka top. It's a wonderful beginning sewing pattern. It can be used for both woven and knits. It's versatile. We've made it into dresses. We've made it into tie dresses. We've made it as a V-neck. We've made it with long sleeves. You're going to see a version today where we're making it a different way. It's endless, the possibilities with this pattern, but it's a great starting point when you think about an easy sloper, an easy pattern with a front, a back, sleeve bands, and a neck binding. This neck binding can be done with woven or knit. Here in this fabric, I have done my neck binding in woven fabric. Or if you choose to make this in a knit, of course, you can use our ready-to-wear neck binding technique for knit fabric, which is fantastic. So let me slide over to a presentation here and show you guys here this top. So this is my trendy Eureka top. This is in a Liberty of London fabric that we have had. It is a little bit of a repeating print, but it's not so blaringly obvious where I felt like I needed to match the repeat. So I did not worry about it too much. All I really was concerned about in making this Eureka top was really centering these what you might call plaids or what you might call stripes or shapes down the middle of the front and back of my Eureka pattern piece. Of course, my neck binding was cut on the bias. My sleeve bands are cut normally, but this is the newest Eureka top I have made, and this is the actual Eureka top that I make alongside you guys in our Eureka top course. So you can check out the course, How to Sew a Trendy Top in a Single Day. This might be one of our only patterns where you probably could sew in one day, kind of sit down, start to finish, cut out, sew, get it ready, finishing touches. So in this video, I am teaching you step by step how to make the Eureka top, particularly in this repeating print. That is Liberty of London, but I also mentioned how to make it in a solid woven fabric. So this course is live and it's on sale this week for 15% off. So as I said, I am teaching you how to make this shirt that I'm wearing today. I teach you all about the proper materials that are needed for sewing the Eureka top. I help you pick the correct size for your pattern to make sure you're measuring the pattern correctly, to make sure you're picking the right size based on the pattern size suggestions. I even show you, you're going to see me demonstrating how to cut out your fabric. So there is a camera that's over a table where you're actually going to watch me using all of the tools like a rotary cutter, like pattern weights, pins, all of that kind of thing for cutting out an actual pattern. You get a couple bonus lessons in this course. You actually do learn about cutting out print fabrics, like I mentioned with the one I'm wearing. So you learn about both solid and print fabric cutting out. I will also teach you about seam finish options for garment construction. I will teach you about executing a simple neck band using woven fabric. So there are other techniques for this installation of a neck binding, but I show you one version of completing a neckband with woven fabric with your neckband cut on the bias. Also, I'll show you hem finish options, and you will also get a sneak peek at the end of the course. There is a presentation I give about 7 different Eureka top pattern variations and where to find them. Because we have made so many Eureka tops, I wanted to shout out in this course other ways to make it, because again, this is a course that's not only for our So Confident members, this is for everybody. Everybody would benefit from this course, just in the sense of this is, again, a great beginner sewing project. Maybe you're new to the sewing workshop, and maybe you're new to our live streams, and so you want to kind of get to know our patterns. The Eureka Top's a great place to start. And even if you've made the Eureka Top, it's a great course to consider in just learning different techniques with woven fabric and working with a pattern of ours that you might know and love already. So grab this course for 15% off. And I also just wanted to mention that we do have, some of you might have noticed on our website at sewingworkshop.com, a little pop-up pops up. And yes, that is my face. It is me. It is not spam. It is my face. And it's a little promotion for this course. So if you see this pop up, don't be afraid. Don't be alarmed. If you would like to, you can do what it says, where it says click now for instant access. All you have to do is put in your name and email. And if you're a part of this email list, you will actually get emails pretty consistently about receiving different content from us. Mostly, you will also get a free course. This is a free 45-minute course that I also filmed. It's called 5 Simple Techniques to Sew Clothes That Look Designer Made. So in this course, I give you kind of core things that we at the Sewing Workshop say that you need to know in order to start sewing successfully. So this is free. You get access to this if you join that email list. And you also receive a code to receive 25% off the Eureka Top course. But for today, you can get 15% off. This course is normally $75 and 15% off this week. So that's what I'm wearing. But today we're going to learn about the Divided Eureka Top and our favorite fabrics for pants and our favorite pants. So this is a technique that we will show in detail on the blog. So if you go to sewingworkshop.com, you will find our blog section, and you will click on Eureka. And we have a couple different blog posts regarding the Eureka pattern. One is making the Eureka as a long sleeve pattern, and one is this technique, the Divided Eureka Top. So Erin and Linda are going to talk a little bit more about this. And I think they're both wearing it, or at least they're both wearing Eureka variations.
Hello. How are you guys today?
Well, I was going to wear the Eureka variation.
Yeah. Well, I am wearing
yes, you
Divided
are.
Eureka.
And
yes.
we'll have her stand up because it's so cute. So cute. She's color blocked it. And you know, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but when you put darker on the sides, you look skinnier.
Oh, there you go.
Not that you need to look skinnier, but you know what I mean? It just takes away that space. But I love the color combination that you've used, the white and the black and the camel.
It's a fun cotton knit, very easy to wear.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
So I had a plain white one I was going to wear. And I put it on. And it was just too big. So I decided not to wear it. So it was Erin's idea for me to wear
the Odette.
The Odette. Which we realize is similar.
It's very similar.
But the lines are very, very different. This has a princess line over here. It has a dart that comes out of the arm's eye over here. A dart that comes out of that princess seam over here. I think this is more exaggerated. Yeah.
More exaggerated, and you have the nice raglan sleeve here, which I think is a nice detail.
So you don't have to, is there a dart up here? There is, isn't there?
Right.
Yeah, a dart creates the shoulder. So for those who have slope shoulders or no shoulders or big shoulders like you do, this, you don't have to worry too much about where all this connects.
I think it's nice to see it actually in 2 different styles. I think you could go either way.
Yeah. You know, I like this garment. I like both of these really
Mhm.
well. But if you don't want it quite as exaggerated or with the whole princess and dart and all that.
Try both ways, actually.
Yeah,
Have fun
exactly.
with it. Try both ways.
Kathy's actually the one that came up with this. And she follows a lot of interesting lines, an Italian one in particular. I don't know if I pronounce this right.
Go for it.
Lourdes. I've already lost the second word.
I always just remember
Brigada.
Lourdes. Mm-hmm.
Lourdes Brigada. And Alex and I have actually been in their store in Barcelona. And it was very interesting. It's very exotic clothes, but she saw something online or whatever and took our Eureka. Not a lot of people, but some people don't care for the Eureka because it is pretty boxy. And if you want something a little more tapered, trimmed out a little bit, that's why she did this. She likes that shape better. But how to do this is on our blog, as Alex mentioned. And it's about a 4-page, you can print it out, 4-page document. But it does give you the how-to on how to change your pattern. And this is free. So you can download it and use it how you wish. But that's everything on our blog, of course, is free. But you go to our blog on our website.
And we do have a section where you can search by the pattern name. Yeah. So you go under Eureka, and there's a couple different posts there. And one of them is the Divided Eureka.
Yeah. Some of the elements are still there, like you kept the sleeve band as opposed to a full sleeve. We have a long sleeve version of this too, don't we? Or have I just made that?
In one of the tutorials that we sell, we do have a way you can convert the Eureka to a longer sleeve. You change the shape under the arm a little bit, and we have the sleeve included in the tutorial.
Right. And I think you've changed the neckline.
I must have, because it does seem a lot wider on both of the ones that I've made here. I made this one as well. But here's the original. So the Eureka is very simple. As you saw on Alex, has the ready-to-wear neck binding, has the sleeve bands here. Definitely a little more ease, fuller down here. Very, boxy shape. But I love it in this lightweight knit. I think it gives it, a lot of drape. And I think it's really flattering. I tend to wear it a little bigger when I wear.
I agree.
When I wear it just as it is. So.
Well, it is interesting. This is a good comparison between a viscose knit and a cotton knit, and how it drapes. The cotton knit is not as drapey. So if you want to fulfill the shape, keep the shape of what you've done, you might consider a cotton knit. But if you want the drape, I mean, this is an amazing. We carry both, a lot of both. So I don't think I have a preference over the other, but the cotton knit is becoming more common for us to be able to buy.
Right.
In fact, what we're going to show you today are some brand new cotton knits that are very wide, like 66 inches or something like that.
So yeah, up to 70.
Up to 70 inches. They're from Japan, we think, and the only reason we think that is because the instructions are in Japanese.
Swatch card.
So, but they're very nice, and we're going to show it to you in a minute. So we're seeing more cotton than we used to, and that's a lot of people's preference. If you're traveling, cotton knit is great. It doesn't wrinkle. Viscose knits wrinkle.
They do, and I find that this is great for travel because it's breathable.
Yeah.
I like the way it feels. I've traveled with this one a couple different times.
Yeah. So. And you can feel comfortable not pressing it, where the viscose you might feel the need to freshen up a little bit, which I'm not doing on a vacation. So we both are wearing, in this case, the Odette and the Eureka with trio pants. And I know it's difficult to see. You can probably see hers a little bit better because of the zipper across the side panel.
The contrast zipper stripe, kind of a novelty stripe. There's some metallic in through the stripes on these, very lightweight again. which I love the amount of ease in the trios.
We're crazy about the trios around here. I think I mentioned a time or two ago that I wear one size in the trios and one size and a different size in the Picassos, which are very similar in shape, in that they have that, would you call it a barrel?
It is similar to the really popular barrel leg.
Yeah,
I think it gives the same shape, the same.
Right. So we're going to show you a few others.
A few other Eurekas. This is another divided Eureka that I made. I love knits and wovens that are in like an open weave, but sometimes you don't know what to do with that because it could be sheer, right? So in this instance, I used an open weave knit, but I put another knit behind it, so you didn't have to worry about anything being sheer.
Did you use this bottom knit or another knit?
I did use the same knit. So this is a viscose knit that I used behind the lace.
Yeah, this is really cool. Let's maybe pull it up here so you can see the texture a little bit better and see how it's divided up.
So the same technique that we do in the blog and dividing it up and just playing with the different fabrics. That's what I like about it. You can use all the same fabric, but it's also a great opportunity to use different fabrics. And I also really like to use the same color, but using different fabrics within that same color. I think it's really sophisticated that way.
Yeah, I think this is a great, I don't know whether this was a remnant or not, but it is a good opportunity to use some remnants.
That's what I did with this black and white one.
Is that right?
Is these were remnants, some Alabama Channon remnants.
Yeah, I just love that. And then we've paired this. We think it's a great profile together. So this is the project that I made during the sew along that we had in July with the So Confident members, where we started in the morning with a 9 o'clock in the morning. I think it was 9 o'clock. Yeah,
sounds right.
Meeting, Zoom meeting, where we got started, how to get started on these pants, some fitting and questions and so forth. And then we all sewed, and then we met again at like 1 o'clock, kind of to check in to see where we are. And then another little get together at 4 o'clock. So I think I showed these, well, actually, maybe not, but we're getting more hemp fabrics. And we showed solids like a month ago.
Right.
Well, then we got in these stripes, and we purposely ordered them, the stripes, to go with the solids that we have.
Right. So if you were lucky enough to get some of those solid hemp, we now have the coordinates, same colors, plus a few other ones. So we now have them in the stripe, which I think is really fun.
This was a great sew. I didn't fuss with it. Nothing slipped around. It was just an easy fabric to work with, and it feels great. It's real soft. I was just reading again this morning of the uses of hemp.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing. First of all, it's a sustainable fabric, but it's used in, like it's all inside of our cars, like the inside of the doors.
Like the liner? Like
inside?
Yeah.
Okay. It can, of course, it's made in planting, in that it rejuvenates the soil. It's part of the cannabis family. Gosh, now I can't remember all the uses, but it was just everything from rope to textiles to industrial products. So if you want to get in a new business, get in the hemp business. And I have a teeny tiny little bit of wheat property in western Kansas. It's not enough to even write about or talk about, but it's had such poor wheat growing the last few years. I'm tempted to tell the farmers that do it to switch to hemp. There'll be a market for that. Anyway, so trio pants, Eureka, divided Eureka tops.
And you did the button version of the trios.
I did. I know you can't see them, but there is a button right here.
And then the same on.
Oh yeah, and this one too.
I love those buttons.
I know. These are not buttons you would use super often, but they're just unusual enough that they work for this, where you're only using a couple of them.
Right. I always love those larger buttons, but they're hard to use.
They
so
are.
I think that this is a really great use of some of those buttons that you find in interesting places. This is a good place for it because you can do the buttons on the pockets, and then of course, like we talked about, you can do the zippers, and I like the contrast. I think that's fun.
Yeah, I like that too. This also has our famous flat portion across the front, elastic around the back. There was a lot of discussion in our sew along about, well, what do you do if this rolls down?
Right.
And so there are a couple things. You can extend the elastic, add on about 9 inches, and then when you're pulling the elastic through the waistband, this doesn't get gathered up. Or you can interface this. What was one of the other suggestions? It was very unusual. There are other stabilizers, kind of rigid, not interfacings, but beltings, I guess would be a better word for it. So I happen to like it like this. I don't ever show my waistband, so it's not a big deal if it rolls over. I don't think it rolls over. I don't go in very much. I kind of am pretty much straight up. So it's not a problem. But for those who do want to do that, it's very doable. So, well, we've got some others.
Yeah, let's show off a few other Eurekas.
Here's one.
So this is another way you can change up the Eureka. Just doing a simple band down the center front is really fun. You could also do something in the back if you wanted to do a band in the back. And this one has at the side seams, it has these triangular
I love that.
gussets.
That's another slimming thing.
Right. And
it's like it's not there.
Different fabrics at the sleeve bands, and then the same fabric on the neck binding. I think that's really funny. It's funny. But it's also fun.
Yeah. And then here's one with, if you're afraid to use stripes, use a narrower one in the front, a little wider one in the back, a floral design on the sleeve, and a solid for the neck. So you can really mix this up. I can't remember what you wore this with, but it was really fun. Some print pants, I think.
If you're going to mix your prints, you might as well go all the way.
Absolutely.
I like the unexpected pop of the green on the neck binding.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you can kind of pull out all your coordinating knits and put them together, and this is a great project for that.
Yeah, because this color actually does not show up anywhere.
No.
But it works. So those are some Eurekas. I meant to grab one of my books. I'm going to do that right now, actually.
Maybe the Sewing with Knits book? Yes.
It's interesting. A lot of people graduate from sewing wovens to sewing knits. But I noticed that my daughter, Alex, was the reverse.
Started out with knits.
Started out with knits and has graduated to wovens. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong, but some knits can be tricky.
Right. I think you see so many knits in ready to wear. So I think that's where you would gravitate towards if you're starting out sewing.
Yeah, I don't remember wearing a single knit other than a sweater in high school, for example. It was all, I made a straight skirt every year in wool.
I didn't make one of those in high school. Never wore it.
Never wore it. I was showing Alex the other day. She was here for a weekend. I was showing her some of the older things that I'd made. I think I've shown this on a live stream, actually.
I think so.
But my college final project in construction.
What was it?
Well, do you remember Jackie Kennedy wore those dresses that had the little placket up here with the 4 buttons? Were you alive then?
No.
I didn't think so.
Pictures.
Anyway, I made this little tiny dress. When I say tiny, it was tiny. And it had a 17-inch long skirt.
Wow.
That's pretty short. Well, Twiggy was the deal, So anyway, I made it in a really heavy wool Melton white.
Oh.
What was I thinking? And then I lined it, the whole thing. Anyway, I was working with wovens as well. In fact, I tell this story that for years and years and years, I had nothing but cotton thread in my thread stash. And more recently, I think I have more polyester thread
Mhm.
to sew with knits.
So that's right.
Anyway, this is a pretty comprehensive book on sewing with knits. And if you want to know about sewing, interesting techniques or different fibers, you might want to check this out. Okay. But as usual, I always like to review what we do, what we have when we sew knits.
Okay. What's the most important thing people should always
Walking
remember? Okay.
I would say a walking foot is the number one. Do you agree with that?
Definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then I changed my throat plate to a 5mm throat plate, which is pretty much all we have around here because we don't embroider. Embroidery machines have a 9mm. I own a single hole throat plate just in case. Then polyester thread. It's the only time pretty much that we use polyester. Some paper stabilizer here and there. Definitely Fusey Web.
That was going to be my number one.
Yeah, well, you're probably right about that. Some machines sew knits better than others. I don't know why that is. Like I can get away without a walking foot on my 535, but I can't on my 6, whatever it is, 40.
Okay. I can't get away with much on that machine, so you're doing pretty good.
I know you. I love that machine. You don't like that machine.
No.
It's funny. You get it. Machines have a little personality,
Mhm.
you know, and you have to love them. So, all right. So that's kind of a quickie knit tutorial. We have a great method of putting on a neckband. We call it a ready-to-wear binding. I think it's the best I've ever seen. I don't know where I learned it.
And it's in the Eureka pattern.
Yeah,
so
it's in a lot of our patterns, isn't it? Like in all of them.
It's in most of our knit, unless it was an older pattern.
Yeah.
But we do use that in all of our knit patterns.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Alex, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. Some people want to know how you extended your neckline, Erin.
So extending my neckline, I made it wider at the shoulders. You can tell here. I guess you have a different. Let's get the original out, and maybe you can see the difference. So the Eureka does have a wider neckline compared to, say, the Odette.
Right.
But I did scoop mine out a bit here and widen it at the shoulders, and it is a bit lower in the back as well. So typically when I widen or lower a neckline, I find the point where I want it to hit at the shoulder. I find the point where I want it to hit at the center front. And then I use a French curve in order to get a smooth shape. And I do like it to be pretty straight right at the center front for maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch here. So it's not a kind of a sharp point at the center front. And then I mirror it for the other side.
And you don't always have to take it down at the back.
True.
You can or not.
And if I take it down at the back, it's very minimal. It might be 1/4 of an inch. As compared to the front, you could take that down quite a bit, inches. But the back, you don't want to mess with the back for, maybe just 1/4 of an inch, especially if you want to scoop it out wider at the shoulder.
Necklines tend to get bigger on the hanger.
True. Especially in like a viscose knit.
Exactly.
I find that happens a lot more.
Right. Now, I've never done this, but it is possible to use some stretch tape.
Like a stay tape?
A stay tape, a stretchy one, or a piece of interfacing to stabilize the neck. I don't really bother to do that. I can't tell you why. Maybe it's laziness. But it is something that, see, by the time I sew it on, then 3 threads serge the raw edges and then generally cover stitch. That's a lot of thread.
That's pretty stable at that point.
It's pretty stable at that point. But if you're just putting it on with a sewing machine without cover stitching, then maybe you think about stabilizing.
And you could stabilize the shoulders too with the
That's
same
right.
knit stay tape.
That is more common than I do. Yeah.
Right.
Does Linda make the trio a size larger than the Picasso or a size smaller?
Picassos are smaller.
And I think just like anything, make sure you're measuring yourself and make sure you're measuring the pattern and getting the right ease. Because I think, to be honest, like everybody's bodies are so different. So I think you just have to make sure that that's the right decision for you. Because I make the same size, so
I can wear the same size, but I just like a lot more ease.
You like, more ease.
Yeah, I probably have 6 inches of ease in this pant.
In the trios.
And that's a lot more than some people are going to tolerate. So.
Can you both turn around to show the back of your garments?
Sure.
Great, thank you.
That was a long pause. Any other questions?
For the Eureka neckband, when cut on the bias, is it longer than the band for knit in the pattern? It is the same band no matter how you make it.
Yeah, we have a formula that we use for calculating knits. I can't tell you, Alex, you know for a fact that they're the same in the pattern?
There's no separate waistband for woven or knit, so it is one pattern piece.
All right. Well,
it depends on if you cut it on the bias for woven, or you don't have to cut it on the bias in a knit.
No, you can cut it on the cross grain, which is about the same stretchiness. But I would, I've been known, in fact, there was somebody on one of our last Q&As, I think, whose neck binding was standing away a little bit. I told her to take 2 inches, take it off, cut off 2 inches, put it back on. She emailed me and said that worked, and she was really surprised because 2 inches seemed like a lot. But that's what you have to do with a knit, is you have to kind of play with that a little bit. We might start you out with this long, but it may not be right for your fabric. And more than likely, if it's a really stretchy knit, like a viscose knit, you're going to take off an inch or two.
Right,
but we have a 7/8 ratio.
Right. So it's 7/8.
That's a starting point.
Right. So it's smaller than the opening.
Right. And on the woven one, chances are you're going to cut some off at the end after you've gotten it on.
It's better to start out with that one longer, I think.
Exactly. Did you use the pattern piece exclusively on your Eureka, Alex?
I did.
Well, it looks good. Now, is your band all the way inside, or is it exposed?
My band is exposed. So I did really the same technique that you do to knit to a woven. So I turned it, it's turned up and it's top stitched down.
You can see how much smaller that neck is in a woven.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's held its shape, obviously.
We have a few more questions. Do the stripe fabrics shrink a lot? Do you go by the 45-inch yardage or the 60-inch yardage?
My stripe did not shrink on the hemp. So I go by the original width as it's stated.
Yeah, it's 55 inches wide. So on certain patterns, we do have the 54/60 for the layouts, because we've noticed that a lot of the fabrics, as obviously this knit is a different story, but a lot of the fabrics aren't coming as wide as they used to. Yeah. So we want to give a little bit more flexibility. In contrast, this is 70 inches wide, so you wouldn't have to worry about it.
When you use stay tape on the shoulder seam, do you sew down the center of the tape on the sewing line?
Yes, and I put it on the back only.
So why do you put it on the back only?
Because when I press the seam, it goes towards the back and it covers up what might become scratchy.
Okay.
Plus, you don't see a ridge at the end of it or anything.
Well, that's
It's
true.
hidden.
That's true.
Why do you do the front?
No, I just thought it'd be great to have a further explanation.
Okay. Yeah. Good question.
For waistband rolling, has anyone, Linda or Aaron, have you ever modified a pattern to a yoga waistband?
Meaning a yoga waistband, like a wider waistband? Obviously, I don't wear yoga.
I think she might mean more like our pencil pants, where there's a separate
Okay.
waistband that's like completely, it's not gathered. It's not at all. It's
Yeah, our helix pants and our pencil pants are more like, well, particularly really the helix, don't you think? Well, I don't know.
Well, I can see
Either one.
Now I do have I can see what you're saying about the pencil pants. So it's it has the separate waistband and it does have elastic on the inside, but it's not, doesn't have it's flat on the body,
Right.
basically. And so is the helix. You're right, that's flat on the body as well. Which
Yeah,
is really nice.
I think between the two, it depends on whether you want to have the elastic exposed or not.
On the helix. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
Yeah,
I forgot the
the
original question.
I think it was for the chat in general. So feel free to put your answers in the chat, anyone. But has anyone ever modified a pattern to a yoga waistband?
Oh, I've never tried to modify a gathered waist or a waistband waist pant to a yoga pant. The closest we have is the
well, the pencil pants and the helix pants.
Well, I was thinking of the ones with the tie.
Oh, the Maison.
Maison. We have too many patterns for me. Maison pants are not a tight yoga pant, but they are definitely an athletic looking pant with a band on the bottom. I would wear those for exercise of certain things. I mean, maybe not yoga. Well, I don't know. Why not? But yeah, no, I've never tried to do that.
Well, and I wonder if also maybe you're wanting it to be more flat instead of having that gathered look. So you would have to modify the waist of the pant leg.
That'd be a severe modification. So I would just buy a pattern that worked instead of trying to modify.
Right. You could do the pencil pants and you could put the two together. I wonder how that would work out.
Yeah.
Just to get the proportions right.
Yeah.
And Erin, you did not lengthen your top, did you?
Well, in the instructions on the blog, you don't lengthen, this portion at the side seam, but you do lengthen it in the sense that you're lengthening the angle down here at the bottom.
3 inches.
So it looks like it's, this one is 3 inches. I can't really read that, but so you do lengthen it here at this angle, but not at the side seams and not across the back.
I just flipped you guys so you could read the text so that you guys switched spots.
I know, I noticed that.
All right, one more question. What is the minimum circumference for the neckline and a woven in order to get my head through comfortably? I think you have to measure your own head, perhaps. Depends on the head.
That's why they have different hat sizes, I guess.
True. I mean, I think what you're wearing, Alex, is pretty, snug along the neck. I wonder what that circumference is. But you obviously can get it over your head, so.
I have been told I have a big head, so.
I don't know an actual measurement.
No.
I would try it on before I put a band on it.
True. And
see where I am. Or measure something you already have in your closet that you can get over your head in a woven. I noticed the other day on a garment that was pretty close up here that there was a placket across the shoulder with a button.
Oh.
And that's one way to open up, to get a close fit and still be able to open it up. Or of course in our Sicily, we have a keyhole in the back and a button.
I do tend to try on like garments that have some sort of binding around the neck. I do tend to try that on before I do the binding.
Yeah.
So I like to have it, the shoulder seams finished, the side seam finished, so I can see what it looks like and then try it on. And then I know if not only if I can get it over my head, but then whether I like the shape and where the neckline hits on me.
All right, that's all I see.
Okay. Well, let's look at some fabric.
All right. So we coordinated all of the hemp stripes with a cotton, or most of them are cotton knits. And some of these you can mismatch, you can put them all together. But these were the coordinates that we really liked here. So here at the top, we have a heathered cotton knit in a gray. What do we call this? Heather snow. And then it coordinates really well as a neutral with this hemp stripe in duck egg. So I think these are really nice. If you really like to have more of a neutral on top, which I love, this is a great idea. Instead of your traditional white or ivory, do this heather snow. I think that's really nice. And then, of course, here's a blue option. I love blue. This is a really beautiful, what are we calling this one? Admiral blue, lightweight cotton knit. And this coordinates really well with this lighter blue hemp.
Now, you could always use, let's say you were making a Eureka out of this. You could always use this for the sleeve bands.
Oh, that's
You can
nice.
mix a little bit of woven with it.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. This one is called Antique Blue. We have quite a few blue options, so I want to make sure you guys have the right color. So, and then the one down below here in more of a peach pink, another cotton knit in rose, and it coordinates with Faded Romance. So the stripe at the bottom.
Betsy must have been in a mood that day.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I love this one. This is more of a mauve combination here. I think we actually maybe call it mauve, but you can check that. But I think this is really beautiful. Mauve. And then this stripe has kind of a mauve violet shade.
Smoky violet.
Smoky. That's great.
Yeah.
Good job, Betsy.
It's a great combo.
I know, that's really nice.
Mauve is back. I remember my mauve interior.
I do too. I had a mauve bedroom. Floral mauve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's back.
It is. And I really like it. I think it's nice. It's fresh. I think it's a great style for spring through fall.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. And then we have a beautiful green combination.
Verdant.
What was that?
Verdant.
Oh, okay. And then what's the bottom one here?
Eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. Oh, I love the smell of eucalyptus.
Yeah.
And then we have a teal version here at the bottom.
Peacock. And Tahiti.
Oh, very nice.
Betsy was planning her trip to San Diego when she named that one.
And then we have we do also have a snow white that I think will coordinate with any of these. Again, if you like more of a neutral, we do have a cotton knit in snow white.
Yeah, it's different than that one because that one is heathered. This one's solid.
Yeah, and
Feels
it's a
great.
soft white. It's not a bright white, but it's still a good classic white to have in your collection. And it goes with any of these colors here. And then we have another stripe in the same hemp organic cotton. So same weight, same fabric, but this is a narrow railroad stripe and a blue-gray that I think is really classic. You're seeing a lot of pants in this type of stripe, I've noticed, from everything from linen to cotton to jeans. I've seen a lot of denim in this type of stripe. And then you can coordinate it with this heather blue. I think that's really, really great. I love heathered knits.
I do too.
I think it just adds a little touch of dimension.
You know, a lot of the heathered kind of have a horizontal stripe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more important to follow the stripe than what you think might be the straight of grain.
That's true.
because most of those are just off.
And that can sneak up on you. So I think you have to really watch for it.
Here is a pair of Picassos, actually, that are the wider railroad stripe. I love these. You know, they go with everything.
And I love your pockets.
The pocket is a simple patch pocket that straddles the side panel. And you could do that on the trio too.
That's true. What if you left off the lower pocket and then put a higher cargo pocket? I like that idea.
Yeah.
Because that's the same width. So is it the similar idea? Like you put it in the seam?
I think so.
I think that's
I mean,
a
it
great
might
idea.
be a teeny bit wider, but it would work. Or it doesn't have to straddle the seam. It could just be on the panel if you want it smaller.
Yeah, so you could definitely do, you know, any of these stripes in the Picasso as well.
Exactly. So all of these fabrics are on sale this week, as well as the trio pants.
Picasso pants.
Eureka top, Odette top.
Right.
And do we have any tutorials on sale, Alex?
Just the how to sew a trendy top in a single day, Eureka top course. So
yeah,
I think also the fabric that I'm wearing, this divided Eureka top, or I'm sorry, the actual fabric I sewed in the course is on sale this week for 15% off. This is one of our Liberty of London fabrics, and it's called Garland Garden. So that is on sale if you want to purchase the course and make the same top as me and the same fabric, you can. So that's another shout out to another fabric on sale.
Okay.
And we do have a special sale on, is it the cotton knits? What's the, do you want to run through kind of what the percentages are this week?
Yes, I can do that.
By the way, we have a couple more colors, 3 or 4 more colors of this that are on sale.
True.
A cherry red, another blue, a green, whatever. Yeah.
So this is our sale category this week, the Easy Elevated Casual Look sale. And like Linda and Erin mentioned, here are all of our patterns. Some of them are print and digital, some are just digital. So check out the patterns. Here is the How to Sew a Trendy Top course on sale this week. And then as far as fabrics, shout out and let's shout out to these fabrics because they're 30% off, particularly the cotton knits. So the heathered snow, that's 30% off. Then the chambray stripes are 15%. So we have put an extra special 30% off sale for our knit fabric. So we like to, on our sale category, kind of put the order of fabrics based on what we show on the wall. And so you're going to see them coordinating. As you see here, our Admiral Blue is paired with our cotton chambray stripe and antique blue, but just note the prices because you are saving that 30% off on the knit fabrics only. So it'll kind of alternate here in the sale. So you'll see all of the fabrics Linda and Erin mentioned and the knits again on sale for 30% off.
I know, I love being able to see what coordinates. I think that's great. All right, do we have any other questions?
I do think there was a question about Linda's fabric. So what fabric from the sale this week would you get to make that shirt?
I would get either the solid white or the heathered white.
Because what you have on is also, is that also
what I have on is this.
Cotton knit.
Cotton knit.
Yeah, I believe the only one that's actually, there was one that wasn't cotton knit. I believe it's this one. Lyocell. Oh, this does lyocell and organic cotton and spandex. So this one's just a little bit different than the others.
All right, I do not see any. Wait, I see one more question. How many inches down is that pocket on the gray striped pants?
Well, I can tell you here. It's 5 inches down from the bottom of the waistband. And the pocket is 7 inches finished.
All right.
I want to make this.
What does heathered mean?
Heathered means that there's another color in it, and it creates a texture. For instance, this blue is made up of blue and white, so you see the weave.
You see that?
Not very well, but so it's not solid. The knit is made with both white and a darker blue, which makes up into a lighter blue.
Yeah, we do have quite a few blue cotton knits. So it's hard to choose from the blues, I think, but I think they're fantastic. So I wouldn't be able to decide between these two.
I love this color. This would be a color I would wear a lot with a lot of different colors.
Yeah, I think that one's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that one as well.
All right, so all the knits we featured today are 30% off, and all of the hemp cotton fabrics are 15% off. I don't see any more questions. Okay. Thanks, Erin and Linda.
All right, thank you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Okay.